Flosstube, it is Helen D. Today we're going to look through my box of autumn finishes, my fall and autumn finishes. I'm a little sweaty. Don't look at me, just look at the stitching. It's a little hot today. So I will try to remember what everything is called. Sometimes I forget. I always, on these videos, I go through and I will list below everything I showed in the order that I showed it. So if there's something that I can't remember the name of or who the designer is, you can look below and I will list everything out. I don't remember fabrics because I don't write things down. And some of them I made some color changes on. I just stitch. I don't spend my time kind of organizing. So that's how it works. I have a lot. This is a big box. Most of these are smalls, though I do have some larger things that aren't stored in their frame because I reuse frames. But I'm going to start with one that isn't a frame because it's the big one. So this is Autumn Rules from Primrose Cottage Stitches. This is the one I have to be careful I don't hit the light. I finished this last year, I think, and I either framed it. This is the first year I'll have it out. I think I finished it after last autumn. I got this frame at Michael's and framed it myself, and I know I stitched this one on a 14 count. And it's pretty big. So I'm excited to have that one out. There, now that one's out of the way. So now I'm just gonna start pulling things out. I love fall most of all. This is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I have a wooden block that I have a magnet on, and I put the washer on here so I can just pop that on. This one I know is from the Trilogy Sneak Peek Autumn. It was sold as, I think, 3 sets. One might have been this one in the border, and then it was 2 and 2. Sorry. It also has a button pack, but I didn't have the buttons, so I just left them off. Emmy's already been over for water. I thought Pepper was actually going to steal water, but she was like, I'm not drinking human water. This is Otono. This is Satsuma Street. She has those series, one for each season. And this is the one for the autumn season. I'm gonna warn you right now, this video is gonna be in 2 parts because my battery was not charged and I thought I had enough, but I'm not going to. I love this one, I love the colors. That also pops in a frame. This little one is A is for Acorn. This is from Heartstring Samplery. And this pops on a circle. This one I finished last year. It's from the Autumn Berries by Erica Michaels, but I ended up finishing it on this little pumpkin instead of on the berry, because I thought if he's on the berry, you're not really going to see as much of him. So I finished it this way. This is Prairie Schooler. I think it's Prairie Seasons, and this is the autumn. Prairie Seasons is a four-pack chart. I'm pretty sure I changed colors on this one, but again, I don't remember what I used. This is my favorite of all of those. Autumn is my favorite to stitch for anyway. So that one I put on a frame that I swap out with the different seasons. This little one is an older hands-on design, Hey There Pumpkin. And it's just in a regular frame. I've had that one for quite a while. The frame happened to be just the right shade of blue, so I went with it. This is Here Kitty Kitty. It's Country Cottage Needleworks, and I had this finished on a wreath, and then I took it apart a couple years ago and decided I wanted something a little simpler. So I took it apart and made it into just a little pillow. And I did my cats. My cats at the time. That was my cat Pud. This is Abby. That was River. That's who we had at the time. And then unbeknownst to us, the other 2 are kind of brown tabbies. So that would be Emmy and Pepper. So they're all on there. This one is Hands-On Design in Priscilla Blaine. It was the smaller chart of one of theirs that has the flowers in the jar. So I just did the small. I did 3 strips of fabric on the bottom with some rickrack. I didn't add any trim because it already had a lot going on. So there's that one. This is another one that I did a refinish. This is Harvest from Bent Creek. I had this finished on this frame, but again, it was too much. It was a little more than my style. So I took it apart, finished it as a pillow. Now I can just tuck and nibble. This one was a gift. It's one of those Homespun Elegance trucks. So I'm not sure the name of it. This little one, I don't remember the name. It's either a Heart and Hand or a Trilogy. I'll list it below. Little pumpkin on the vine, something along those lines. Just a little small pillow. This is a Heart and Hand. Sunflower Sampler. I finished that one with some fabric on the side because it was kind of long and skinny. This one was the small I received at Stitchin' at the Farm last year. I'll have to... Harvest Witches and Pumpkin Kisses. This is by Primrose Cottage. I really like this fabric she used on the back. So that one, again, I didn't get to put out last year. I did, but it was kind of at the end of the season because that event is in November. This is Hello Fall from Stitching with the Housewives, one of their cup series. It's in a little drawer. It's just magneted on there. Finding a spot to put things is always the tricky thing. This, oh, that's a Halloween one. That should be in my Halloween. Well, it's probably going to go out with fall because it's more fallish. I found this at Goodwill. Unfinished, just a stitched piece. I think it was $1, so I saved it and I turned it into a little fall pillow. Even though this is Halloween, I may end up putting that out with my fall stuff because it kind of has those colors going for it. This little one technically is probably Halloween, but I'm going to put it out with fall. Misty made this for me of Luminous Fiber Arts. It's from Prairie Schooler Chart. I like how she finished it with the fabric on the top and the bottom. Her backs are always so perfect. So again, he'll probably go out with fall because of the colors. This tiny one is Heart and Hand Wee One's Crow. And it's a circle design, but I just added some fabric on both sides to kind of make it a little bigger. I mean, it's still pretty small. I did a herringbone stitch and added a button. This is a With Thy Needle and Thread. Oktober Feast, maybe? I finished it on a little board. I just tied a couple lengths of twine around it. So this will just lean on something. Let's see. This is one that Barbie made me from one of her charts, Petal Pusher. It's a punch needle. She does have a couple punch needle charts, and it sits in a, I don't know what it is. It's not a candle holder. It sits. I have a round thing that it sits in. So she just covered up the back with some felt and that just tucks in. Here is Heart and Hand. I don't remember. Autumn. She did a series of these. I've done all of them, I believe. Maybe not summer. I might not have done summer. My son thinks these guys with their long legs and their tablecloth centers are odd, but I like them. I'll list that one down below. I have a pedestal that I stick that one on. All right. This is part of a chart by Hands On Design and Priscilla Lane that had a big barn and stuff on it, but I just shortened it. This is the part I liked best. So I started in the middle and did the bottom and then decided I didn't need to do the top. So here's this one. Put some cording around the edge. I don't remember the exact name of that chart, but again, I'll list it below. This is part of Hands On Design Chalk Talk Autumn. I have a pumpkin that this magnets onto, so just this much fit perfect. Little tip, if you're trying to get your corners, this one I can show you, if you're trying to get your corners really tight and they're not working, you can sew them up. I usually start at the top, the point, and sew down so that then my extra thread bits, right, are kind of in the bottom. But that just kind of tightens up your corners. This is an Aida that I dyed and it was a little thick, so I couldn't get it quite as tight as I wanted. This is a Plum Street. I think it's called Dear Friends. And I have a stand that this one sits on. This one I'm tempted to do a refinish, but we'll see. It may not. I love the colors. Dear Friends. This is one of Luminous Fiber Arts. It might just be called Acorns. I love that blue. Like, I like the fall colors and then that little hint of blue that she used. I have something that this magnets onto. Okay. This is one of the first ones I did when I got back in. I have not sewn the corners. It's finished on a piece of wood with Mod Podge scrapbook paper on it. This is Autumn Signpost from Bent Creek. I've done all of the 4 signposts and I have a stand with a clip and I just clip them on. So this is an oldie. An oldie but goodie. This is a little one that I made from one of the British cross-stitch magazines. And when I was finishing it, I didn't look before I cut, and I cut it. So I had to put this all up here to cover. I sliced it. So it happens. So I just did him and added some little stuff. And like I said, I put all that up there to cover my mistake. So it does happen. Here's some berries. We're getting down to it. I might fit this all in on this battery. All right, these 3, no, these 2, oh, because the scarecrow. These are the other 2 in the Autumn Berries chart pack. That's Autumn. And that's how I did the top. And then this one is Pick Up the Patch. And I layered some green. I tried to make the top look like a pumpkin with some green buttons. That would also be a cute top hat on a snowman. This is from her Bristol berries, the Erica Michaels Bristol berries. But instead of doing it in reds, I just picked my own colors and I did an autumn palette. And then this one, I don't remember the name of. This is another Erica Michaels Fall Berry. He comes in his own chart pack, so I'll write that down below. Let's see, just a couple more things. 2, 3 things. This is Fall. This is from the 2016 Just Cross Stitch magazines. They had a series of these. They're Hands On Design and Priscilla Lane. I've done all of them. They rotate in that frame. This was originally done as a checkerboard. I filled it in. It took 700 skeins of floss. Not really, but it took a lot and it took forever. And this is one of my first finishes. It's on straight up sticky board. Is what it is. There's that one. Barbie made me this one. She did a chart pack. I'll have to list it below. It has these cool different frames and alphabets so that you can choose your own. And she finished it on a little wooden pumpkin I think she just got from the dollar store. Doesn't say, there's a tag on the bottom. So that one sits out. And finally, this last one. This is Autumn Row from Bent Creek. I have a board that I magnet these on. 3 magnets, because they always fall. I just put some cording. This cording is tricky because it's so much. I have to have my husband help because it gets all twisted. So that one's tricky to make. That's it. That is my autumn bucket. I will do my Halloween stuff in its own separate video, and I will also do a short video later for Thanksgiving things. That one won't be as long because I don't have as many of those. If there's any questions you have about what fabric I might have used, let me know. I may remember, I may not. So I hope that gives you some inspiration. I love seeing other people's finishes parades, and I will see you back here for my regular video. Bye.